What's going on, guys? So today's video, I wanted to cover a chest workout using my favorite workout tool, which are kettlebells, okay? Training with kettlebells is one of my favorite training modalities. The kettlebell, of course, is one of my favorite training tools. I use them a lot in all of my training. So of course, I use them to work out my chest. And one of the best ways to do that is to use them for push-up variations. Of course, kettlebells are built with handles. They're built like push-up handles. So some of the movements you're gonna see, it's just like using push-up handles. So of course they serve that function. So in this video, I wanna show some of my favorite push-up movements on the kettlebells. These movements aren't super complicated, but I will show you some modifications to help you if you struggle with them at first. And of course, the goal being to work your way up to being able to do them in the best technical manner. We're gonna start with just standard push-ups. Very simple. I like to set my handles for this workout at this angle. So one's facing like 2 o'clock, the other's facing 10 o'clock, so we grip like this. That's a push-up grip that I like on standard push-up handles, so of course I use them on kettlebells. So I'm gonna cover some of your basic grips that you would use with push-up handles. So again, my first grip is gonna be here. We're just gonna do 6 to 10 of each of these push-ups so that we're not, that we don't drag out this video, okay? So again, standard width. Okay, those are pretty basic. So if you want to switch at this time, we're gonna go a little wider, and then we're gonna do our grip is gonna be about here. So straight up, no longer at an angle, straight up here, and we'll go a little wider. With the height of the kettlebells or push-up handles, the opportunity you gain is the ability to go deeper, below parallel. So make sure that you're making an effort to do that when you're doing these push-ups. So another pretty standard grip is a close grip where my biceps stay along my ribs, pretty much grazing my ribs through every rep, and my grip is neutral here. And again, try to get a little lower than the handles, okay? Regarding the kind of kettlebell you use for these push-ups, it's important that you use something that's got a decent weight to it, decent heft. You don't want to be using 10s or 18s or something really where the ball is pretty small, the handles are pretty big, and then you end up kind of off balance, and when you go into your push-up position, the handles can give, and that can mess up your wrist. You fall on your face. I think you get the idea. So you want something that's got a solid base and will sit solid on the ground as you do these push-ups. Make sure, again, you're not picking the bells up at this time, so it's okay to grab a pretty heavy bell so that it's grounded while you're doing your push-ups. The next push-up movement I want to show you is a push-up with a plank jack. So I'm going to show you 2 versions of this. I'm going to show you a modified version for beginners. Basically, when I teach this to people, they have a hard time getting the rhythm of it. But you want to get to a point where everything moves in one motion. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. You're going to start in a stand-up push-up position. You do a plank jack, your feet are wide, and then you lower yourself, and then bring yourself back up. That's completing the push-up, and you bring your feet back together. So that's the beginner's version of this. So again, out, down, up, in. Out, down, up, in. That is for beginners, or again, if you struggle with the rhythm of moving your upper half and lower half simultaneously. Where you want to get to is being able to do it all in a fluid motion. And this would be how I perform the push-ups with a plank jack. Trying to turn it into something explosive, okay? That is one of my favorite push-up movements on the kettlebells. The next push-up movement I'm going to show you is a push-up with an extension. And this is a one-handed push-up. Basically, it's an off-balance push-up, and then you're gonna fully extend to bring your hands level, and that's gonna put stress on the pec that you're pushing. And of course, we're gonna do both hands so you can even things out. So, we're gonna start with the left hand. My right hand is on the ground, my left hand's on the bell. So you see that I'm uneven. I come down, and as I come up, I extend up, bring my hands to where my hands are level. That's one. So let's complete the same amount on the right hand. Again, my hands are staggered. One's up, one's down. If you need to, you can open your stance a little bit for balance. It's completely up to you. That's another one that I really like on the kettlebells. Now, a modification, if you're not comfortable balancing on the handle, I'm on a matted surface right now. I'm not on solid ground. So the bells I'm having a hard time getting these bells to stick. On a regular rubber flooring or flat ground, these are pretty heavy. These wouldn't be moving much. Okay, but if you don't feel safe and you want a modification, you simply tilt the bell over, face the handle towards you, and you just put your palm on the bell itself and your hands on the ground. Now you can even start where you don't even do the extension. You just do one-handed push-ups here. Okay, then you can add the extension afterwards as you grow comfort or strength. Okay? And as always, you gotta even things out. So I gotta do some on this side. So again, you just complete your reps in this manner. And then add the extension as you grow comfortable. From there, you can always center the bell and get really advanced or have some fun with some explosive push-up movements where you're switching hands. Sticking with the theme of using one bell for a push-up movement, we'll move right into the next push-up movement. Now this one was a little hard for me to kind of master. So I had to work on it a little bit, again, because I have a pretty broad frame, and putting that kind of frame over the bell, one bell, and trying to keep it balanced, and it takes a bit of effort. So same thing, you can keep your feet close or wide, depending on what creates better balance for you. Of course, working to where your feet start to come inward because your balance your stabilization is just improved. So both hands on one bell, okay, and you just come down. Okay, now that is one that's gonna tax you, man. That's a tough one. Again, modification. If you struggle or you fear that you're not stable enough and it's gonna wobble and possibly give underneath you, then you can always switch. Handle towards you. And you can do this modification until you feel comfortable doing it with the handle up. And the last movement on this video, but certainly not least, is an explosive catch movement. Now this is going to require some confidence, okay? You're gonna need some confidence, and you're gonna need stabilization. You're gonna need some explosive power. Now, this is where using the bigger bells can be a hindrance, because you have to get high enough, explode high enough to clear the bell so you can grip it. Whereas a smaller bell would be lower and save you some of that energy and effort. But you still need a heavy bell, because you need the bell to be anchored. Because again, if the small bell is there and you jump up and you try to grip the bell and it's small and it doesn't have enough weight at the bottom to hold you, it's gonna give. So you really don't have a choice but to go with the heavier ones. So the solution is to be explosive coming up. Now you can of course tilt the bells over, and I'll show you that modification as well. So this is the way, the advanced movement, the way you want to work to, this is where you want to work to get to, and this is what you want to be able to do, okay? I'm going to bring my chest to the bell, and then I'm going to explode up. So I'm down, up, full push-up, down, shh, 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 shh. Of course, your modification would be tilt the bells over, hands facing down, and grip this way. But your push-up has to come lower if you're going to do it this way, because your chest still needs to touch the bell. Hell yeah, man. Those are good workouts. I really like using the kettlebells with those types of push-up variations. So give them all a try. See what sticks, see what doesn't. If it doesn't stick for now, keep trying until you get better. But get to a point where you can do those comfortably. And then of course, like anything else, if you get good at it and it becomes easy, up the reps, man. But it's a really, really good chest workout, okay? Mix it up, do a couple of them, mixing up with some push movements on a bench or with some dumbbells. It's all in how you want to program your workouts, okay? So, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember, man, we live with no excuses. Always finish strong, and you keep fighting for fit. This is your life, and you only get one, man. I will see you guys next week.